Hello students. Okay, today we will be learning something new. Rather I will teach we are doing something new, okay? By combining all the learning points we learned in the previous lessons. So today we are going to build two games. One is apple tree and the other is wearing clothes. So just let me do a simple demonstration. So let's go here. So when you play this game, when you click the apple 2 times, another apple will grow, and you click the other 2 times, the apple will grow. Same to the tree. Okay, the tree will grow. So until the third apple, then it will come to an end. Okay, so I did a 3 apple example. Like a growing apple tree. Okay, so this is one example, and then each click will accumulate the score over here on the top of points here. So another game will be wearing clothes. So I play, and then I can choose a character. Let's say I choose this one. And then there will be multiple clothes that I can choose, depends on what's my preference. I can wear this, and then I can choose the other costume of the shoe. Okay, this one, and maybe I can wear the hat, or maybe pen. No, I think it's a hat, something like this. And then you're going to in the middle of the game, the character will say something, and then at the end of the game, the character should wear whatever you have chosen for her, and then go to the stage like this. Okay, so let's start doing. So let me create a new one. Let's start do the apple tree first. Okay, so first we're going to choose a backdrop, and the backdrop I'll choose a forest, and next I'm going to choose the sprite. For me, I choose the tree. Then I'm going to code for the tree. Before I code for the tree, maybe I want to arrange it to the location that I want. Because when I arrange the location, the x and y coordinates will change also, remember? Yeah. So if I pull the tree up, as you can see, the x and y location change from the previous number to the current number here. So let me arrange manually here so the code is updated. Alright, first I'm going to choose when the flag is clicked. And I'm going to set the size of the tree to 100. These are the initializing script, okay, to initialize how the game behave when it just started. And then go to the current location. Next, we are going to do the apple. So I'm going to choose the apple, and I'm going to set up for the apple, maybe here. Okay. Then I'm going to set the size to 30. If you're going to manual set here, when the code run, it actually won't work. We still need this manual work. It's good for testing. Maybe you feel 30 is too little, then you can go for 40 on your own preference. I think I will go for 30. It's good enough for me. Okay, so now after testing, then you can go for the code. So when the flag is clicked, I'm going to set the size to 30. Where are you? Here. So change 100 to 30. And set the current location. I'm happy with the current location, so I'll just go to motion and go to this location. And next, I'm going to create a variable, say points. I'm going to set my points to 0. Alright, so this is initial script for both tree and apple. Let's say if I arrange the tree to different places, when the flag is clicked, it will go to the preset position that instructed by the code. Okay. Next, we are going to continue on the interactions. When we click the apple, what will be happening, right? So we need event script. When this sprite is clicked, I'm going to change the size gradually by 10, and at the same time I want to add the variable. Change variable, make sure you select the right variables. Okay, then I'm going to wait until my size, if you want 2 clicks, because each click is growing 10, right? 30 plus 10 is 40. 40 plus 10 is 50. So if you want to have 2 click and then another reaction coming, then you will go for the check to size 50. If you want to check until the size is 40, then you decide the value based on your own preference. So I will prefer 2 clicks before something happen. So I will have to wait until a certain condition. So what kind of condition? I will use the operators, because in the end this would give me a boolean value, true or false. And I'm going to set the size, the loops. So when the size is equal to 50, this is what we learned in the previous lesson. I'm going to broadcast a message, and I will create a message say grow apple. Okay, not only grow apple, maybe I want to grow tree also. So grow tree message will be listened in tree sprite. Grow apple will in charge of duplicate another version of apple, or another apple is shown. Okay, grow tree. Right, next after I grow apple and grow tree, I want to make sure that the size will be set to 40%. So even though you want to click further, the apple will not be growing anywhere bigger. Okay, then I'm going to do a check, because I want the tree, when the tree grow, right, the apple position will kind of change. So later on we'll handle this scenario. Let's go back to grow apple and grow tree scenario. So let's handle the grow apple scenario. So the next one, I'm going to create another script, another sprite. So this one is apple 2, and apple 2 should hide when the flag is clicked. So now we are doing the grow apple scenario. We are doing this scenario. Okay. So when the flag is clicked, I'm going to hide it, arrange it to a position that maybe you like, maybe here. And the size, because I have tested my game before, so I no need to test the number again. So my ideal number will be 30. You can set your own size number. Okay, and then when I hear grow apple message, then I will show the apple, and after that I'm going to go to this current location that I'm happy with, and change its color to indicate that add some fun element. Otherwise, all red apple will be a bit boring, right? So change color by 25. Okay, again, the number here you can define yourself. That's totally fine. Okay, so let's test now. When the game is start, I'm going to click the apple, 40, 50, another apple come out. So this is how it works for now. Okay, so let's work at the grow tree scenario. So what happens if I hear the message called grow tree? So we are working on this scenario now. Okay, so when I hear grow tree, when I receive grow tree, I'm going to increase the size by 20%, meaning it will change it to 120, and then I'm going to move it to a location that I prefer, but this one needs some testing. Currently it's at the same location on the left side, right? But definitely we need to move up a bit, but move how much is throughout the testing phase. So see, 1, 2, and you know that the tree can grow a bit higher. Yeah, so this is minus 84 is the actual value. Okay, so minus 84 is the actual value. And you might realize that, hey, the apple here is actually get overlaid by the tree. That's something that will cause a little bit problems in Scratch, because the index issue at this level, I don't encourage or further confuse you all with the index code. It's quite complicated. We will just focus on the simple functionalities and how to move things around. Okay, so when the game starts, I click 2 apples and another apple should grow. It's behind here, so that's the index issue I'm referring to. Okay, need to move this thing over here also. Hopefully it will work. Yeah, we need to rearrange the, let's detach and rearrange the apple and trees a bit. To show this so it's not behind the tree. Okay. Still inside the tree. Okay. If you have such problems, then I would rather to move down or manual control and move down to minus 70. Got 2 dash minus 70, so that you can click the apple and then rearrange it on top. So let's try. Okay. So this is one way to resolve this issue without going to arranging the layers and index between the sprites. Okay, a quite manual way though. Okay, so after the grow tree and grow apple is done, let's do the third apple, right? So we're going to grow 3 apples. So now, by the first apple, that even though how much I click, if you can realize here, the first apple will not change any more size, and the second apple now should do the work to initiate the growth of the third apple. Okay, so we are going to further enhance the coat on the second apple. When this sprite is clicked, the second apple is clicked, I'm going to grow the size by 10, and I'm going to link it to the score, change points by 1, and I'm going to add one wait until the condition will be more than 50. As long as it's more than 50 in size, I'm going to set the permanent size to 50%. So even though how much I'm going to click, I will still start at 50%. Yeah, and I'm going to broadcast another grow apple message, but in order to not mix up with the first grow apple message, I'm going to give it a different name. As easy to understand, I will say grow apple 2, as long as you can differentiate from the first broadcast message will do. Okay, and again I'm going to add another one, grow apple grow tree 2. Okay, then after this we are going to code on the third apple. Now we are going to settle the scenario for grow apple 2. Okay, again I'm going to hide my apple when the flag is clicked. I mean the third apple. I'm going to hide it, and I'm going to set the size by 30. This is initialize your game in the beginning, and then when I receive grow apple 2, I'm going to go to this position that I'm happy with, and or maybe I should show first. Let me show the apple out first, otherwise it's hiding, right? So show and go to that position, and of course we're going to change its color by, maybe this time I will change to 50. Okay, so now when this third apple is clicked, how are we going to do it? Maybe I want it to reach a certain size and then stop there. Okay, so when the sprite is clicked, I'm going to grow the size by 10, and again link up to the points, variable points, wait until maybe this round is size more than 60. Just now it's more than 50, right? So now I want to more than 60, and set the size to more than 60, then follow by the next code. The next code will be set the size to 70. Okay, and then again we're going to rearrange the position, because when the tree grow, the apple kind of go down, so we need to push up a bit. Then I will go to a location that I need to test, but in order to avoid the overlaying issue just now, we kind of simulate in our brand. Maybe I would increase by 15, 17, and then I'm going to stop all the game code, So when I receive grow tree, should be grow tree 2, don't mix up. Then I'm going to go to the location. Actually we don't need the grow tree. Let's see what happened here. We settled the 3 apple scenario. Let's finish up the grow tree 2 here. Okay. So when I receive grow tree 2, when I receive grow tree 2, I'm going to set the size by 140, and I'm going to simulate the position a bit. So after grow, the second time is minus 84, right? By the 20% increase, I would rather simulate to minus 64. Okay, so I will push up the trade a bit higher. So let's see what happened here. 1 click, 2 click, grow higher, 1 click and 2 click. The click should grow another apple. Okay, 1, 2. As you can see, we need to move up the 2 apple a bit. Maybe the tree is going down a bit, maybe minus 60 will do. And I want to move up the apple. The apple I want to move up by grow apple. Maybe here we need to have another handler to handle the when I receive grow apple, grow tree 2. We should go to the color. Color should leave it. Let's move up this one first. Maybe 20. Okay, let's test our game again. 1, 2. Okay, so it's right at the position that I'm feeling okay with it. Now is the first apple that will cause some problem, right? Because when the tree grow, the tree should move down a bit, maybe 68. Okay, so when the first apple start at this location, we need to handle this scenario when the tree grow to the second time, right? So when I receive the grow tree 2. So let's do this scenario. When I receive grow tree 2, what will happen to this apple's position? So currently it's at minus 63. I want to move it up, so I will increase 20. So here should be minus 40, around minus 40. Let's try it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I think it's fine. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I think this is how we demo the game initially. That I end at tree apple, and the tree grows come along with apples growing out also. So this is a demonstration of how a simple game it can be easily done within 10 over minutes or 20 minutes of time. You can even change the backdrop if you want for every tree grow, maybe from autumn to summer to winter, spring. You can design your own backdrop also, and you can animate some birds are flying, some snows during the winter time. You know, limitation, imagination is your only limitation. Okay, so let's go to the second game, wearing clothes one. Okay, so I'm going to create a new one because I already have the 3 games, so I'm not intending to save this game. But do remember to do the challenges that I will show at the end of the screen, end of the game screen. Okay, so try to do all the challenges which will bring you to next level of programming. All right, so now let's do the dressing game. First, I would need a backdrop, as always. Choose a backdrop. I think I will choose the stage. No. I think I design my own backdrop. So how to design your own backdrop? That is your creation. I would prefer to choose brighter colors. And I don't want any outline. I'm going to use the rectangular tool to draw a backdrop for the avatar to stand here, maybe around this size. And I'm going to choose another color, maybe lime green. And I'm going to draw the other ones. Here. Oh, I forgot. Please make sure that when you choose when you draw out something, right? When you draw out something, make sure that you don't select this piece of work that you draw and then change the color. Otherwise, your color will be override. So just like this color, right? I must deselect the area that I just draw and then change the color. Something to take note when you're doing your work. Okay, and then I'm going to draw on the right side is the cloth dressing area. Okay, I'm going to draw a black color line to separate the 2 areas more clearly. I'm going to increase the pixels, maybe like this, better. Okay, then I'm going to select the second backdrop, the stage backdrop, the theater. Okay, so the first backdrop is the one that you choose yourself, and the theater backdrop is at the end of the game. Okay, so here, go to the code, start to add in the sprite. I'm going to choose Harper because I have multiple costumes inside there. Harper. As you can see, there are multiple costumes. If you go to costume, you see there are 3 characters I can use and then change by the code. So the next thing I'm going to do is manually arrange the Harper into the right position. Here. Maybe I want to change the Harper smaller. So I'm going to set when the flag is clicked, I'm going to set the size maybe a little bit shorter, and if I change it here to 90, I would like to position her around this area, and I'm going to get the position X and Y. Okay, next I'm going to switch the backdrop to start. If you cannot differentiate which one is the start, do go to the backdrop tab, rename it to start. Now go back to your code. Select. You might wonder, oh my god, where is my code? Don't get panic. Now you are in the backdrop blueprint. You haven't coded for the backdrop, that's why you didn't see any code. So select the hopper and your code is over here. Okay, I'm going to switch the backdrop to not theater but the start, and I'm going to say some instructions. I'm going to say, hello, please help me to dress up in 50 seconds. I'm running late for show. Okay, and here I'm going to say around 5 seconds. The reason is if you show it too fast, maybe some players or users are not reading finish your instructions and they will get lost. So let's display the instructions a bit longer for the user to see. And next thing is try to broadcast a message, and I'm going to name my new message to start dressing. Okay, now I'm going to wait for the user to dress along the way. So I'm going to wait, where's the wait? Yeah, here. Wait around 30 seconds. And in the middle of the game, I'm going to say something to try to give some interactions with the user. Maybe I'll say, hope I'm looking awesome. Okay. And we are going to wait another 10 minutes for the user to get ready. Now, when at the end of 10 minutes, or maybe we give 15 minutes, then we are going to say time's up. Okay, and I'm going to stop all the code using this block of code. Okay, next, we are going to do a button below, right? So the button will be another sprite from the sprite library, and you might need to design the button and text a bit. So you need to go to the button costume. For me, I'm a bit OCD, meaning that I don't want unnecessary costumes that I don't need. Select the tools and make sure you select all the things, because you see here outside is one layer, inside is another layer. So try to resize at one time. Maybe that's not working. I want to make it narrow down a bit. Okay, that's good enough. Make it center, and maybe make it long a bit. Because I'm going to give instructions on the button. Where's my center? Can I might just put it here a bit. Can't really see the center one. Oh, it's here. Okay. Then I would say give the instructions. I'll use what color? Yeah. Choose character. Okay, I'm going to resize. Maybe I'm going to change it to a smaller font. Do I need to change the font family? Let's change to another font family. Curly, marker. Okay, I'll use marker. And I'm going to squeeze the letters into the button. Okay, so choose a character. And now we are going to the code. So when the user click the button, so what will happen? We are going to change the character costume. So when this sprite is clicked, how to change from, how to control from this sprite into Harper is again by broadcasting a message. And at the Harper side, the Harper code is listening on this message. I will name it to change character. And then when the flag is clicked, I'm going to show it so to make sure that it's always on the screen. In the Harper here, let's do this scenario. When I click the button, when I receive change character, I'm going to switch to the next costume. So one button click, change costume, another button click, change another costume. So it's a repeated actions. Okay. Now let's try it. When I played, it gave instructions, and then when I choose a character, it will choose the character to go to the next costume. It looks a bit more fun, right? Okay, the next thing we are going to do is choose lots of clothes. We're going to choose lots of clothes. Let's go to the sprite library. You can choose the fashion category and easy to find compared to you're going to find one by one, scroll down, time consuming, right? So I'm going to choose this, arrange it nicely here. Okay, that's code for the first cloth, and the rest will just, the code is very similar. Okay, so when I say flag is clicked, I'm going to set my size to 100, and I'm going to hide it. Okay, I'm going to hide it. Where's hide it? Okay, I'm going to hide it and then go to this position, the current position that I manually drag to. And at the same time, I want to say that when I start dressing, when I receive start dressing. So this one is for the scenario when this come out. Okay, so when the instructions are given and it should start dressing, then these dress are listening. When I receive the start dressing, what I'm going to do, what I design is I'm going to show the clothes, and then I want to do repeated tasks where I know that the costume have 3, right? So I'm going to repeat 3 times for the next costume, so you can see that the user will know, oh, there are other costumes other than this. We have other choices, just for demonstration for the user. Okay, and I'm going to wait 1 second for each costume change. So let's try this. Wait for 5 seconds. Okay, so the user will know that, oh, I have other choices, but how do I choose? Of course, the initial thinking of the player will be usually clicking the costume. So we need to handle such scenario. So when this sprite is clicked, because if you don't write the code, nothing will happen. Even though I try to click the close, nothing will come out. So I'm going to write this code. When the sprite is clicked, I'm going to next costume. Okay. Then I can change the costume. Okay, so I'll stop the game first. Right. Similar code, we can go to choose another code and just copy and paste the code will do. Or an easier way is try to duplicate this with the code and arrange it to a position. Go to the costume. There are different ways of doing this. You can just delete and you can add the fashion that you want. Maybe a glass, and you can delete this and rename it to glasses. It really depends if you don't want to drag and paste the code. Another way of doing it is you can add the sprite. Let's say I want to add a hat, to put it around here. Because the hat don't have any code, right? So I will just drag. Actually, the amount of work is very similar. So I just drag this code to here. And later on, I will go to the hat code and rearrange the code I dropped in. Okay, so when you play, both code are hidden. After 5 seconds, they will come out. Alright, there's something that you need to do is when you position here, do remember to change this position, otherwise it will go to the closed position. So throw this away and select this position, then this will be fixed. Let's try again. Okay, it's just happened that the hat got 4, so do remember to change the repeat loop also. So change it to 4 costumes so we can demonstrate 4 different sets of costume to in front of user. Next, I'm going to choose another, maybe another 2. Choose a cloth, be around here. I'm going to copy the code into here, drop it inside. And rearrange the code like just now. Make sure the location X and Y is changed. Double check the costume. Oh, only got 1, so even though you repeat 4, it doesn't make any difference, so just leave it. Another cloth I want to choose is pants. Okay, here I'm going to copy all the code, set the pants, and rearrange the code again. Sorry, the work is a bit tedious, but we need to make the wardrobe a little bit full so it's more fun to play. Okay, make sure the costumes is 2 and then change the number to 2. Okay, I'm going to add more, give me some time. I will add in a shoe. Be around here. Be around here. Okay. Copy the code again. Okay, you can use a similar method to put more costumes in. I think I will just put 5 for demonstration purpose, so I won't drag your time too much. So just change the costume. Make sure, how many shoes do I have? 1 2 3 4 4. So I'm going to repeat 4 times. Okay, and then the next thing we're going to do is to do a test run. Right, want to wear the pink color pen, a little bit big, isn't it? Okay. Alright, and then I'm going to wear the cloth. I'm going to wear the shoe. Okay, so this is how we test the code, and it looks fine. The next thing will be what happens when time's up. Okay, so let's go back to the hopper, because hopper is the one holds the timing, right? When time's up, we are going to broadcast something. Maybe we go to the backdrop, and remember the reporter block we learned? At first, when the flag is clicked, I'm going to, because the backdrop is going to change, right? So we're going to settle the backdrop first. I'm going to switch the backdrop to start, but then I do a check. When the flag is clicked, I'm start checking already. Wait until the reporter block timer that we learned before. We're going to use this plus the operator is larger than 50 seconds, and then something going to happen, right? So we're going to broadcast the message. We're going to name the message as time's up. Time's up. Okay, and we're going to change the backdrop to theater. So when this thing happened, the broadcast timeout happened, all this code need to do some changes, including the hopper, because as you can see in my previous demonstration, the hopper becomes smaller. And how are you going to change the clothes to smaller and to the center position of whatever I have chosen the hopper to wear? So there are some checkings. Okay, so let's do for the first one. When I receive, maybe we do the hopper first. When I receive time's up, I'm going to change my hopper size to smaller. Maybe after testing, the size is 60%, and it's great with me. But if you want to change it to lower, because now every time you're going to test, you need to wait 50 seconds. You can always, that time when I do this, when I check, I reduce the seconds over here and over here, and I even reduce the second to here from 50 to 10, so I no need to wait a long time for testing the result. So basically this code is telling the computer to set the size to 60 and move to the center position that I get is positioned -8. I don't want you all to stare at the screen for 50 seconds every time to debug with me. So this is the position that stays at the center. When you develop a game, there definitely need a lot of rounds of testing. So I won't include the testing time in the lesson tutorial here, so we don't need to waste a lot of time. Yeah. Okay, so when the hopper reduce the size and then go to this location, the next thing we are going to do is to settle the cloth. So let's go to the cloth, the dress, and the first thing I'm going to do the dress is when I listen the time's up message. I'm going to check. How am I going to check that the clothes is where on the hopper? And I'm going to bring this cloth to the center of the stage. It's by its position checking. If you can see here, the cloth right now is at around minus 70. So in the middle line, the black line here is definitely more than or should be less than minus 150. So we can just do a simple check here. When I receive, let's go to here. When I receive times up, I will do a simple check the x-axis of this current sprite. So I'm going to do this x-axis, x position. If the x position is less than 150, because this line is around 140, 150, so if cross over this line, that's definitely less than 150. So I know that this cloth is where on the character, okay? And I'm going to set a size. Actually, I should use the if else. Let me use the if else. Why I need to use if else? Because if I'm not wearing this cloth, in the end on the stage I shouldn't show any other unselected clothes, so I'm going to hide it if it's not selected. So in the else part, I'm going to click hide, and size after testing minus 40% will be left with 60% size is right size, or maybe even smaller because I set the harpal smaller. It's okay, later we will test again. Okay, every round of coding will be a different result, because initially my harpa didn't reduce the size, but this round I do reduce the harpa size a bit, so when the character size reduce, the code will reduce further. Then the location should be around -8 and -40 when I do the testing. Okay, then this code can be copied over to all other, clothes. So I'm going to click and drag, but the position need to change a bit. And rearrange the code and copy over to the shirt. Rearrange the cloth and copy over to the pants. So control away pants and copy over to the shoes. Okay. Right, now is the testing time. So let's see, I believe all the clothes will now all gather at -8 and -40. It's okay, let's try to rearrange one by one. Okay, I'm going to rearrange the dress and shoe first. And that's, wait, okay, I don't want to wait for 50 seconds, so I'm going to change it to faster, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. And in the backdrop check, I'm going to check 10 seconds. Okay, let's try it. It's too fast. Okay, let me try to drag the things a bit. Okay, let's do the dress first. Okay, the dress is looking alright. Okay, then let's do the shoe. Let's do the shoe. Okay, 10 seconds. Okay, the shoe position is definitely not right, so I would want it to be around here, -1 and -118. So put this code in and drop out this code. Okay, so now play again to test the other cloth hat. We test the hat. So the hat position should go around here. -10 and 55. Throw away the wrong one, put in the new one. Okay, let's test the pants. Pants should wear around here. -7 and -78. Okay, let's test the last one, the t-shirt. The t-shirt, oh no! Need to test again, give me a while. Okay, t-shirt, here we go. Okay, t-shirt, I want to move it up. So it's -8 and -18. Throw away the wrong one, put in the right one. Okay, you might realize here, hey, choose a character is over here. So we're going to hide this button if the stage, if the theater backdrop is shown. So let's go to the button and add in the code. When I receive time's up, I'm going to hide myself. Okay, so let's test again. I'm going to choose this. Oh no, I need to extend the time. Pardon me. Let's extend to 50. And Harper need to extend the time also. 30. 15. Okay, let's test at normal speed. Right, I'm going to drag this. Maybe I should put one more code to each of the dress, is make it draggable. So this code basically controls the spread that when I click, it knows that I'm dragging it, so it won't, you see, if this code, right, is not this code have the draggable, so if I drag this code, it won't change to another one, but if I drag this one, it will change to another one. Okay, so we are going to add in the draggable here. Yes. And I'm going to choose the fit and wear the hat. Okay, and then let's wait for the time's up. So only the cloth that is selected will show on the stage, the rest will get disappeared. Let's see, around 50 seconds. Okay, so this is the simple game that we can do together. Of course, this game comes up with some challenges that I hope you can do at your free own time. If you have any further questions that, let's say, you want to complete the challenges, you can always in contact with us, and then we will show you how to do it. We will teach you how to do this in the class, in the physical class. Alright, thank you for your time. I think I will see you all next week for another 2 new games. Okay, see you.